Hello there.
Welcome to the latest edition of VoltsMonster Interactive. We've got the usual team here. We've got Virgil Gormless on the end. We've got the Karen Pirate sat next to him. And then you've got the gorgeous Harvey. I'm here and we've got some interesting stories today. One is something related to Harvey's cock climbing. Not really sure what that is. We've also got an interesting story about a Porsche and also Giga Wallet. It comes back to good old Giga Wallet. So, as usual, Mark will have some bizarre stories, Virgil will have something particularly dull, and Harvey will just have something that, 12-year-olds are interested in. Before we go on, we have another letter.
Do we?
Ooh. But I will come on to that later. But it basically...
Sorry, come on to it.
Well, maybe. But, it's quite interesting in that it involves new romantics and gangster rap. Aww. Where does that go?
It's a few generations apart between that, though, isn't there? How does that work?
Well, I think there's 10 years, isn't there, effectively between new romantics and gangster.
Yeah.
So, at least Majib isn't here.
I love Majib.
Because we'd have a whole discussion about some third generation trance weird thing with ladies dancing with booby thingies.
Rocks and crystals. I love you, Majib.
We love you, Majib. And if you want to know who Majib is, we might bring him in just purely for the entertainment, but he doesn't know that yet. Yeah. So,
as well.
Actually, I saw him today. Did you? I was going through Totnes.
What was he doing?
Yeah, because you both live in Totnes.
I was driving through Totnes and he was completely oblivious.
Was he walking backwards?
He was crossing the road, or about to cross the road.
Yeah.
And Were you driving?
I stopped in front of him and he had his headphones on. He was just going, and I was waving out the window to him, and he was.
He's probably sounds like he's obviously taken a bit.
He was probably listening to ASMR of Pokemon cards flickering through his hand.
He did eventually recognise me, and then
And then did he talk to you for an hour?
No. Thankfully, I dropped the clutch and went.
Okay, cool. And on that note of dropping clutches, which electric cars don't have, Mark doesn't drive an electric car yet. He really wants one, obviously being vegan and a bit smelly. And he's what? Oh yeah, he lives in Totnes. So he hasn't got his silly trousers on today, but he has had a new cool haircut for the show. So he's looking all trendy. So if you've got a comment on Mark's hair, comment, like, subscribe, do all that sort of thing.
I don't have a haircut, it has a really bad itch.
What, he just scratched it off?
Yeah.
I'm not going to scratch and sniff Mark.
Huh? No, that'll be a bit...
It would smell of...
But Benedict did say as I walked into the room, he was like... so, you had a haircut, Mark?
Yeah.
No, he hasn't had a haircut, just his ears fell down.
They've fallen.
Yeah.
It's part of his age-related degradation.
Decrepitude.
Yeah.
So mate,
nice.
Gravity.
Yeah.
So he doesn't get, basically Mark doesn't go for a haircut, he just allows gravity to have an effect on his ears.
Do you know what I mean? It's like Felipe Coutinho.
It does look like
You know who that is? If you don't know who that is, he's search
Felipe Coutinho.
Coutinho,
Who the hell is he? Knowing you, he's a footballer.
Yeah, he is, Liverpool, Felipe Coutinho.
Is he any good?
He was.
Can he actually score a goal?
Yeah, he can,
What, repeatedly, or just miss most of the time with the occasional...
When he wants to.
Is that who we're talking about?
Felipe Coutinho at Liverpool. You need to kind of...
What I can tell you about me is I was once...
Liverpool.
Well, hang on, gorgeous halves.
Yeah.
I was once mistaken for a footballer.
Oh yeah.
And before you say it wasn't Rio Ferdinand. Right?
Was it Emil Heskey?
No, what? No, definitely
George
not.
Best.
No, a guy called Tor Andre Flo.
Oh yeah, I like that, yeah.
So someone came up to me in the street and said, "Can I have your autograph?"
Yeah, he's
and I went,
Chelsea, yeah.
And I said, "Who do you think I am?" And they went,
just so I sign it right.
They went, "You're Flo," and I went,
"Flo,
who?" Because obviously I don't do anything about football.
Aunt Flo. Who's Aunt Flo?
Yeah, well, exactly.
Bod,
Bod,
yes.
Bod. So if you're of that sort of age, if you remember Aunt Flo and Bod, you two won't remember Bod. You look like Bod, but with glasses. There's Bod.
There you go, there's Bod.
So not only is he Hans Gruber, he's also Bod.
And Virgil.
Virgil.
Right.
I think the first story is from Harvey, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Indeed, yeah.
as you can tell. It's going to be really annoying, actually.
Well, it shows a tank, so it's either a story about Ukraine and how many tanks Russia can lose in one day, or it's something more interesting.
You're going to want to start it from there.
Although tanks aren't
You're right.
tanks aren't very electric, are they?
No, right, well.
Tank. But all I can think
starting
about
God, he's ugly.
Exactly.
I know.
the
Rewind on TikTok.
car feature ever. Mercedes just showcased their new 360-degree turnaround on their G-Wagon, and it's supposed to simulate a tank.
Yeah, but the best thing about the tank is the tank can do the top and the
And
bottom,
bottoms,
going in
opposite
opposite
directions.
directions.
Yeah, yeah.
Is if you're off-roading and come up on a tight turn. Now other companies
That's
are
called a tank turn, and when this first came out-
they're just as stupid. Like, bro, the Tesla literally transformed into a Paul Blart Mall Cop Segway machine. What's your thoughts on this?
Stupid, right? If you can't park a car, you shouldn't be allowed to drive, and that's
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we live in Devon, and it's full of old people who can't park. And when I lived in Kingsbridge, it was hilarious. 4th Street in Kingsbridge, which you'll know
Yeah, I
quite
know
well.
well. Yep.
Literally, it would be like cars abandoned as opposed to parked. So.
And
But
that
yeah.
goes to the back lanes as well with the tourists coming down, isn't it? That you can tell who the tourists are in the summer that don't use the back lanes because they're the ones that
They do a
are
lot
really
of reversing.
panicky
Yeah.
and want to have like 10 foot to get through.
Although one of the
Space
most
side of them.
terrifying experiences I did have in that area down one of those lanes was I was driving in the wet quite relatively slowly, actually in an EV, funnily enough, and I met this enormous tractor. You know those tractors that have the same size wheels back and front?
Yeah, yeah.
They're enormous, right? Coming the other way at about 40 miles an hour. He locked up, I stopped, and he just kept coming.
Yeah.
So his response to that was to just crash into the hedge, which he actually ended up half in the field.
Taking out.
It gives you an idea of how big his wheels were, because all the hedges are enormous. Well, they're not really hedges, they're just rocks, with bush on the top. So,
You can't beat a rocky bush.
no, Rocky Bush is always it's probably a night out for Virgil. Do we have any comments on Mercedes copying Rivian?
Well, is it copying? I can see the uses for it off road. It's it's
Yeah.
going to be useful off road.
Getting away
So
from the
why
police
not
and
have
that
it
sort of
in?
stuff.
Rivian
Sorry,
or
say that
whatever?
again?
And getting away from the police and all that sort of stuff.
So, are you insinuating that G-Wagons are always driven by drug dealers?
Yeah, mostly. I don't know about the electric
So
ones,
the-
though.
well,
I don't know if
there-
they appeal to them.
Well, there's a double whammy to this.
Yeah.
The new G-Wagon's got the new Panasonic battery, which will have a long range. So if you've got a police car chasing the drug dealer,
Yeah.
not only can the drug dealer turn around on the spot and escape,
Yeah.
Have
right?
a range.
It's got better range.
Yeah.
So than the
Turn around on
i3s
the
or whatever
spot,
it is
yeah.
they're using.
Yeah.
So
They're fucked then, the police, aren't they?
that is one word for it.
So
So
maybe
is this going to turn police chases into that thing that was in the 60s where the police had Rovers and the baddies had Jaguars?
Jaguars. But they had a bell on the top going ding-a-ling-a-ling, ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Yeah, diggly, and blue whistles.
well, they can-
Maybe that's what the
Well,
police
what
should
difference does a
reintroduce.
blue whistle make to any other colour?
I don't know.
It's louder, probably. Just
But I
like
did have a
stripes
police car go past me with no lights on the M5 the other day, doing about 130 mile an hour.
on. No lights on.
No lights, just straight past me.
Does what he wants.
What can I say?
Bizarre.
Does what he wants.
Anyway,
On to the next
I
one.
wonder what speed you can do that though.
what speed you can do the rotation,
Yeah,
or what
like what's
speed
the-
you can drive in a G-Wagon.
What
No,
sort of
what
G-
speed
G-
you can
get
do the
G-force
rotation.
in a
What's the
G-Wagon.
top speed you could do it in?
Well, they were trying to make it cool by making it look like dancing at the F1.
Yeah.
But can you imagine German dancing? It's all just lederhosen
But like-
and slapping.
How quick you could go and for it to still work and stay in control of the car.
What will basically happen is when you do that is you'll shred your tyres and then
Yeah.
you'll have 4 blowouts simultaneously and then
Yeah.
not be able to escape.
Yeah. Yeah.
So top tip to drug dealers,
Go on.
Don't do it at 50 miles an hour.
don't do it at 50 miles an hour, yeah. Conserve your tyres. Next story?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, what you want to do is you want to slowly slow down, lure them in, and then do the
So you're
360.
so you're basically suggesting that drug dealers should be sensible and lure and use their brain
Yeah.
to
yeah.
lure the police in
Yeah.
so they can escape more rapidly.
Yeah.
So that's like the tortoise and the hare, isn't it?
It is, yeah. You need to think one step
Although
ahead.
if you go out and you see tortoises doing it,
Yeah.
there's something very wrong.
Yeah.
Obviously, if anyone sees a tortoise doing that, call Mark. He'll throw a towel over them
Yeah.
and mount them from behind.
Yeah.
Watch
Lucky
your
them.
teeth though.
Obviously, tortoises are quite bitey at the front end as well as
Yeah.
memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. My granddad had one. Lived till 127, I think it was.
Your granddad.
What,
Yeah.
granddad?
The tortoise.
The tortoise.
Yeah.
How did he know that he lived to 127?
Who kept cow?
I don't know. They just. I
Who
think
was
they-
counting?
I think someone just saw.
So did he get it
Yeah.
before he was born, or did he get it? Was it kept after he died?
Who?
The
tortoise.
yeah.
No. So.
For the tortoise to be 127,
Yeah.
he either had to have
It's
it
got three
before
generations. Yeah. So I think.
So
it
who
was-
had it before
I have
him?
absolutely no idea.
What's the tortoise
Who's got it
called?
now?
Duncan.
Duncan. What's his dad called?
Duncan Senior.
Who's
So the tortoise and your grandfather were both called Duncan.
Oh no. Sorry. The father of the tortoise.
No, your father.
My father.
Yeah.
Well, my dad's called Kev.
Okay.
wait, so
Sorry,
This is
sorry,
just a
not the
conversation
grandfather.
earlier about the dog, so I just thought there might be a thing in your family after naming people after their pet.
Yeah, because the bit that you don't know about Virgil is his real
Fuck's sake.
name isn't Virgil, in case you didn't realise. But his real name is Ben, but he was named after a dog. But it was because his family wanted him to have a 3-letter name, and their first shortlist was Rio and Sol.
After Rio Ferdinand and Sol Campbell.
The only connection between the dog, the two footballers, were that they were all black.
Yeah.
And then Benedict, as he's now known, changed his name. Not from Ben, but to Benedict. And the question is that just to complicate it for his family so they can't spell it?
Yeah, not many of them would be able to spell it, to be honest. Sorry, guys.
Jesus.
Have all your family got 3-letter names?
No, I didn't try to think. No, so my granddad was called Ronald. Or Ron.
But Ron,
Yeah,
which
Ron.
is 3 letters.
3 letters.
Kev, who's your dad.
Oh god.
There we
no.
go. Dom.
Donna. Yeah, I've got Donna.
Jen.
Ken. No, I've
Jen.
got Ken.
What a Jen?
I haven't got Jenny.
No,
but-
Ken's his boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
You call me Barbie.
If you want to be called Barbie, you can be Barbie.
No.
Oh,
Right.
You went and saw Barbie.
No, I didn't.
Did you?
I've never been.
Yes, you
You
did.
kept
I
that
didn't.
quiet.
He kept it very quiet, and
No,
then
no.
someone told me about it.
I've never been in cinema.
Rubbish.
No, I haven't. Mum's life, I haven't.
Well, that's her buggered.
Yeah, I was gonna say, look at the-
Mum's life, I have not seen it.
Look at the blushing, yeah.
Yeah, no, look at the colour.
Yeah, it was. It was rubbing my eyes.
What did you go and see that you're now blushing about that we might find out?
I don't know.
Hmm,
God knows.
we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to find out. Anyway,
Anyway,
next story.
so next story. I believe that is yours, James.
No, that's my one.
No, that's
That's
Karen's.
Mark's.
Rock engineering. So I was at an event a couple of weeks ago at the Battle Labs.
You're always dropping.
Warminster.
You're always
And-
dropping names of where events. He never says that I met anyone famous. It's always
And
where he went.
These guys at Rock Engineering had their the prototype of this chair on display, which is being used
Did
by.
the man have to sit in it though?
No, it was empty, so just purely display model.
It's
But
got very big wheels.
the amazing Nick Wilson, go on,
Where's that
back to Nick.
Yeah.
This is the chap here, disabled adventurer Nick Wilson. He's going to be making.
Well, it's clearly better than that.
It's
Is that him?
and I think
That
this
looks
is him
like him.
probably trying to demonstrate part of the problem. Access to people with
His
wheelchairs.
mate has run off and left him.
It's like he's faster.
Yeah. He's got a Peaky Blinders cap on.
He has as well. Yeah. So Nick is going to be doing an unaided ascent of Snowdon
Okay, now he's on the way out.
later on this year. Hopefully, the VoltsMonster crew will be there and covering this and joining Nick on his effort. But yeah, just want to let you guys know about that. And yeah,
Is he looking for sponsorship or anything like that?
I believe so. Yep.
Because we've obviously had quite a lot to do with various disability organisations, from people like Motability and others, not within VoltsMonster, within our other life. And there's big challenges with EVs, particularly around people with disabilities, because probably what you don't know is there's a regulation that says a petrol station has to have an attendant, unless it's Asda, when they don't give two shits. But everywhere else, it has to have an attendant to come and put fuel in for you. And obviously, the greater the disability that the individual has, obviously it makes it more challenging to put electric in your car or petrol or anything else. But obviously Nick is a big ambassador for that.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Constructive way. So
yeah, we're hoping that he's going to come to the ZPM factory and test out our kit as well. So for the actual charging stations. And what else was I going to say?
What are you laughing at?
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
It's the way he slowly zooms in on the fucking videos.
So this is part of the problem with the existing equipment. So it's not exactly right for purpose. So it can be incredibly restricting, and so we're hoping that the Rock Engineering and their cheer will be able to make a difference for people.
Good luck to him. I think it's it needs EV and generally needs more things that are electric that aren't just cars.
Yeah.
So it's a part of the solution to decarbonisation. Obviously, no one's ever had put a petrol engine in a wheelchair. Right. I've seen one with a rocket engine on it.
Rocket.
Yeah. And there's that mad guy in the what do they call it? The thingy circus. They do all the stunts.
The circuit. Oh, Jim Rose's circus.
And he basically, there's a disabled guy, and I saw an interview with him. It was actually I think I was at SEMA, and the disabled guy, they said, why do you keep doing these things? He went, I'm already disabled. It doesn't matter, does it?
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? Yeah.
I mean,
And I can't remember his exact words, but it was kind of like,
So fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, and he's got balls.
Yeah.
But I love balls!
For you, I wouldn't be doing some of the things that he does. So,
I mean, if he puts a rocket in his wheelchair, probably when I pull so much.
I don't think it was him who had the rocket in his wheelchair. I did see that at an event. It was years ago, literally years ago. And it probably banned today because I think it might have been in the 80s or 90s. I think it was actually an air show.
To get away with it now.
So
Probably would be banned, yeah.
it would be probably banned. The health and safety police would not be happy by attaching disabled people to rockets.
No. No.
So,
I don't think so either.
Yeah, no, right, next story, shall we?
well, anyway,
Yeah.
That was a good one, that.
Yeah, it was. So the next one is mine. So the new 630 brake horsepower all electric Porsche Macan.
sorry?
Macan.
Megan.
Jamaican.
No, Macan.
It's a Macan.
Jamaican.
Bro, what are you
new
talking
Porsche
about, man?
Jamaican.
Macan.
Macan.
Madeline McCann.
Yeah.
Madeline McCann.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's easy to remember, yeah.
There you go.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, he's a bit special in many ways.
So Christian, you know, do a little star on there. Sparkle.
Oh, during this, are we now giving Christian tips?
We are, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
come to work on a Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
would be a first.
Talk less. Yeah.
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 The funny thing about Christian was that Ryan said to me earlier on, he goes, I was struggling yesterday. I asked him if he had ADHD. And he answered yes. So,
Yeah, well, if you tune into next week's podcast, you'll we'll see if we can have the answer by then.
Yeah.
what, as to whether he has ADHD?
Yeah.
If anyone wants to pay 200 quid for the assessment, 200 quid.
Is that what it
Apparently,
is?
that's what he said, yeah. So you must have looked into it.
We'll set up a GoFundMe to fund it.
Yeah.
Just ask his fiance.
Mm.
Anyway.
Anyway, so the new Porsche Macan.
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 Madeline McCann.
Madeline McCann. Not the new Porsche Madeline McCann. Is, yeah, it looks alright, to be honest. I quite like the look of it.
If it's got keyless entry, it might get kidnapped in the night
Yeah.
and disappear to
Yeah.
some foreign country.
Yeah.
It looks like the electric version of it.
I love the fact it's got turbo written on the back of it, given that there isn't
no
a turbo
turbo
in
in
it.
there.
Yeah.
I know they did that with the Taycan,
Yeah, strange.
which isn't called the Taycan.
Taycan, yeah. Yeah.
Taycan.
So, what do we think of it?
Don't really like it, to be honest.
You don't like it, why not?
Don't like the shape of it. I like the inside and all that, just don't really like the shape of it.
I think I still think I'd prefer a Taycan.
Yeah.
But the golden rule, if you're buying a Taycan, if you want to know the real way to buy a Taycan, is not buy the turbo. So the basic thing to do with the Taycan is buy the basic model, buy the extended range pack and the sport pack, and then buy yourself some nice wheels. Because then what you end
Still
up
ends up
with,
cheaper.
he's broken it again.
Oh, Benedict.
It's great. Anyway, so the best thing to do with a Taycan is buy the cheap one, which is about 70k. Rear wheel drive, extended range battery, sport pack, buy yourself some nice wheels. And you actually have a better car than you can buy for about 120 grand, because you end up with it just as fast. You end up with it rear wheel drive.
Yep.
So if you're into drifting and things, you can do that, obviously not on public roads. But you don't have to put up, it's about 200 k's lighter because it hasn't got front motor.
Front motor, yep.
So what's there not to like?
And individual different wheels to the
Yeah,
rest of
and
them.
obviously you get nice wheels.
Your own
Obviously the Taycan wheels aren't bad, as car manufacturers go. But overall, this,
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm looking at it, and there's an advertisement right next to it for the Mustang Mach-E, and it does look quite similar to the four-door version.
I don't immediately look at it and go, oh, I really want one.
No, me neither.
But it is a massive step forward because the range is pretty good. Not as good as the Lotus Elantra, but you can spend, I did see a quote that the top of the range one of these is a staggering £130,000, which is a lot.
Oh, three.
Oh, what a waste of money though. What a waste.
Bearing in mind you could get that Taycan I described for about 75.
75. Mm-hmm.
Just a waste of money, isn't it?
You know, you could get a whole additional car. You could buy an MG4 as well.
As a runaround.
As a runaround. Win-win.
Or an ID3.
And the MG4 probably.
Definitely not an ID3.
Yeah, I think
How many Amis could you get for that?
Yeah, well, you could get a lot of Amis. You could put one on each foot. Especially when your feet are as big as mine. I think at this point we should go on to the latest letter.
Yeah.
Let's have a letter.
So today's letter, again, is his email. It's quite something. Oh no, I brought the wrong one down.
You fucking idiot!
Okay, now you got it?
Yep.
Right, well, welcome back to VoltsMonster Interactive. We don't need the fucking clap.
Because Virgil's already got it.
Yeah, I knew that. I saw it coming. Yeah. I don't anymore.
I forgot where I got to. So at this point, we should probably go on to the latest email, which, as I said at the start, involves Spandau Ballet and gangster rap.
Interesting.
So obviously, if you like what we're doing, subscribe, press the bell, follow us, do whatever, comment below, abuse us, whatever you want to do. But this is quite moving, and they're asking for some quite specific advice. It also involves religion, Teslas, lots of different stuff.
There's all sorts going on here.
I know, tell me about it. So it says, having seen your letters section, I wanted to write and tell you about my latest adventure.
Dip, 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 dip.
Meeting my girlfriend's parents for the first time. We've all done that. Some people's are more traumatic than others. And it was going to be a textbook example of charm and grace. So there I was, suited up, flowers in hand, ready to make my best first impression. Her parents seemed straight out of a charming Moonpig card. Her dad is a pastor or a vicar. I don't really know what the difference is.
A pasta.
Not a pasta, like as in tagliatelle.
Tag it, right.
Or a rast.
Like-
He's basically a vicar that's a bit
Basically a
pastoral
bit-
at the weekend.
Yeah.
A pastor.
Pastor.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
pastor. Pastor.
Pastor. Is that like a make can?
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know because I've never met the guy. Going for lunch, it was all going smoothly until I offered to give them a lift in my Tesla. Picture this, me, my girlfriend, her pastor mum and dad, all snug in my electric chariot. The scene inside my Tesla with his vicar and his wife in the back as my new love sat in the passenger seat. I've got this playlist. A finely curated mix of 80s new romantics that I thought would be suitable. I'm talking the full spectrum, OMD to Spandau Ballet. In my nervous state, I've also got another playlist of gangster rap, which covers from Dr. Dre to NWA and everything in between. This can't possibly go wrong, could it? Firstly, I forgot about the automatic play when the car starts, but it's not all bad, but didn't realise it could shuffle between playlists. So we're cruising along, suddenly, Fuck the Police by NWA starts blaring out.
Oh dear.
He's actually put asterisks where the F word is.
Oh, good boy.
Good boy. And starts blaring, yes, the police. I've never seen someone's eyes widen quite as much as her father's did. I fumbled like a clown at a circus trying to change it. But as luck would have it, the next song was Gold.
That's rough, buddy.
This is priceless.
Thinking I got away with it, I left it and took a brief call. Why are you taking a call in the car with your parents? That's dangerous in
What could
itself.
get wrong there?
Especially if it, imagine it
He's
was
asking for trouble.
Imagine it
but
was
he's-
Jock. You don't know Jock. We might introduce him at some point. He's like Gerald, a foul-mouthed version.
What the fuck is that?
That couldn't possibly have been Jock.
That was way too polite.
It was way too polite.
Yeah, you could understand what he was saying.
And you get so if you've seen Clarkson's Farm, obviously other comedies are available, but Gerald on there, Jock is like a Scottish foul-mouthed version of that.
Yeah.
So anyway,
And a wonderful chap as well.
yeah, absolutely.
It'd be pretty,
He's amazing.
Pretty hard job for Christian to translate all of it. Who believe in you?
So press the shuffle button, and then got Alison Moyet. What could you want more than a large lesbian Scottish?
Is she
she
lesbian?
Scottish?
I don't know if she's lesbian.
Oh, isn't she?
I don't think so. Don't know.
Would you?
She's lost a lot of weight actually. She looks good now.
Is that the clarification? Okay. Anyway, what next happens is it shuffles again, but not to the start of a track, to the middle of one of Ice Cube's, where he starts with the immortal line blaring out in the car. She stores nuts in her mouth like the bitch is a squirrel. Echoing through the Tesla, you could cut the tension with a knife. My girlfriend's face was a picture of horror. Her mum was in shock, and her dad, well, he was probably reconsidering his fate. The rest of the journey was quieter than my conversation. I'm now in a bit of a pickle. How do I restore my image with her father after that fiasco?
Can't do it.
You can!
The suggestion he's made is invite them over for a Sunday roast or a PowerPoint presentation on the benefits of solar panels. He then goes on, or should I dive straight into volunteer work at his church? And if her father is watching this is only going to get worse by what he wrote, which is soup kitchen, choir, exorcism assistant. So the question is how do you recover that situation?
It sounds like the fire wasn't ready. That's how you turn a pasta al dente.
I wouldn't be too worried.
Oh.
I wouldn't be too worried really. Because if he's a vicar of pasta, he's a nonce, isn't he? So still.
That's a bit. Okay, so you've stretched from pastor to paedophile.
Yeah, it's not a far stretch though, is it? It's pretty. It's not even a stretch; it's just a step, isn't it? It's a step most of them take.
Okay.
I like to think that the pastor might have. You've got me doing it. The pastor may have converted.
The only
so,
person I knew called Pastor was Pastor Maldonado, who's a Formula 1 driver.
Oscar Pastorius.
Pastorius, yeah.
No, that was
Didn't go well,
Pistorius, wasn't it? Oscar
I
Pistorius.
would,
Are you talking about the man with no legs who ran a lot?
I don't know.
And then shot his girlfriend in it.
Did he?
Who was in a toilet because he thought there was a break-in.
Right.
Anyway,
Because that's immediately the place you go to.
That's the first thing you do, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
The burglar's breaking in. Like,
I'm going to
do
go
it
and
through
shoot the toilet.
Yeah.
No, I like to think that Pastor has probably been converted. Going to Mass next week, that he's up there in the pulpit with his decks, banging them out a bit of NWA, I reckon.
I'd say just steer clear, to be honest.
Steer clear. So don't ever go to the parents ever again.
Just leave her, yeah, just go somewhere else.
Leave her.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
so
go somewhere else.
take it a whole step forward.
Yeah,
Dump
so
the girlfriend and
so the
leave.
first time
Yeah,
you
I
met the
don't agree
parents.
on that actually.
Exactly.
I had a girlfriend at college who was devout Christian, and that,
It's boring, isn't it? So,
it was just
point.
a lot
Do you know what I had
a lot of
work?
hard work and no rewards.
Yeah, I bet.
To be honest, I can actually top that, right? I had a girlfriend with a horse. Trust me, that's worse than religion. Because not only, instead of listening to shite, you have to shovel it.
Shovel it as well.
And and getting dragged to cold, damp places full of angry, four-hooven demons of death was actually worse than going to church. Weirdly, So your option is your option is leave the girlfriend, never go back. So run and hide.
Yeah, because you've only met the parents
the
once.
full-on
So.
Italian retreat.
Yeah, what's the point?
Awesome.
I'm with Harvey on that. Damage is done. It's probably not going to be worth it anyway. You're not going to pull back from that one.
No.
Pulling back might have actually saved you.
The vicar's done a lot of pulling back. I'm not going to say what of, but you know.
Virgil?
I mean, to be honest, there was a viral sensation about I think it was a vicar who did was it the Cha-Cha slide, where they turned it into a Christian version. So I do believe that the church might be able to stretch out and
come back with Gangnam style church stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so I feel like this is.
We have a range of advice there. Obviously,
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, it'd be good, wouldn't it?
Other forms of wasting your time other than religion are available. Obviously, watching. Obviously, watching.
Oh wow, that's how wars break out, mate. That's just. Oh shit.
Look, you have to respect my opinion. We live in woke world now, don't we?
You got to believe that. Fuck.
What? That's worse than calling him a nonce.
It's a bit more
He's not going to come
widespread.
round and twat you for calling you a nonce. It's like,
the best advice that can come out of that is run for the hills. Maybe buy an EV and go very fast into the hills.
Right, next story. Okay, thank you, James. So, this is your story, so back to James.
So yes, haven't got rid of me, you've got me back. This is a story about battery energy storage, which is the dullest subject known to man.
no, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Well, particularly after the last story.
Yeah, potentially.
Yes, it is the dullest story. And most of that has been created by GigaWallet, our friend, because we love a bit of Musk. And he's basically deployed twice as much in 2023 as he did in, I assume, 2022. And interestingly, the statement underneath is solar deployment continue to fade, which I assume is a pun. So obviously, solar is living in the shadow of battery now. Another pun. What I did notice is in Vegas when I was there in November, there's almost no solar panels at all. It's incredible that there is no solar panels there. Like, when I mean no, there is almost none. It's like remarkable. But yeah, the number's gone up. Obviously, we work with ZPN Energy, and ZPN Energy have some great energy storage products, which are probably better than Tesla's in many respects. oh look, he's got an ID3. He's going to go in and he's going to.
Oh no!
Oh no, because he's going to crash into the
meant to be
wall.
going forward.
Well, what they don't show you on that screen is when you put on the reversing sensors in an ID3, the car is horizontal as opposed to vertical. So you have to kind of work out that the top of the screen is your right and the bottom of the screen is your left. It's brilliant.
Genius.
Anyway, battery storage is the way forward. Combining solar, battery storage and EV charging is actually the solution to distributing EV charging everywhere else.
There's a graph. You love a graph.
Oh look, we love a graph. There you go. Look, big pointy red things. I don't mean Mark. I mean the graph. Yeah, it's really interesting, like Virgil. So more directly to the point, we need more of it. So well done, GigaWallet. You've done some good for the world. Apart from the Cybertruck, which is an absolute piece of
shit.
Bullshit.
Yes, particularly good at chopping your fingers off. Apparently.
Really?
Have you not seen the carrot test on a Cybertruck?
No.
So what they've started doing is people.
Why would you do a carrot test on a Cybertruck?
Because they're vegans. They're not going to shut their cat in the bonnet, are they? And go, oh look, it cut his head off. They get an innate object like a carrot that they can't talk to, and then they put it in there and go, oh look, it chops it off. And that's basically to discourage people from putting their fingers in the bonnet.
What?
Any advice for that? Apart from not putting your fingers in sharp
Don't
places?
stick your fingers in sharp places straight away, yeah.
Obviously, if you had a lion and you put your finger in its mouth, what did you expect?
Come out with no fingers or no hand.
Yeah. This is not the videos, it's just something to kind of talk about.
So Virgil has just literally found some random videos about people with carrots.
Yeah.
But it is now known as the Cybertruck carrot test.
Yeah.
Why they particularly use the carrot, apart from being like a finger, I think it would have been probably too big to get a cauliflower in there. What other you are a vegetable
You could have
specialist.
courgette. You'd have to be like hands like yours to have a courgette fingers. So.
Absolutely. Any other vegetable suggestions we could use for a Cybertruck?
Parsnip test.
Yeah, but they're not shaped like people's fingers, though, are they? They're always
weird
wiggly.
ones.
They're always like wiggly at the end, aren't they?
Yeah, but yeah, it could be some gnarly old man or something.
And on that note, the cock extender, rock climber, is on the screen. Why is that back on the screen?
I've no
It's
idea.
just one of the tabs that was open.
Okay. Virgil has obviously lost control of the screen.
I don't know what to do. Yeah. I don't know what my job is. This guy just hired me a couple of months ago and just been
Rambling.
since.
So we need to wrap up.
Alright then, it's your job.
So we need to get better at the wrap up, I think, looking at the other one.
Do we?
Yeah.
Okay, right, well.
So, if you love VoltsMonster, subscribe, click on the bell, follow us, do whatever you need to do. We're on all channels, particularly YouTube, particularly other things.
Yeah.
There are some lessons from today. Be careful to listen to what people say to you, so as not to confuse a rock and a cock. Furthermore, don't buy a Cybertruck if your intention is to put carrots under the bonnet. And lastly,
check your playlists.
check your
Always
playlist.
check your playlists.
Yeah.
And watch your shuffle.
And never take a call with your parents in the car either.
Yeah, never take a call with your parents in the car. Particularly if Josh is on the other end of the call. So on that note, we've come to an end, and we will see you next week.
See you next time, guys.
Ta-da.
So there.
And bye.
Yeah. Right.
You look so excited about it, though.
It's like this ended.